Welcome to the Nutrition Complete online tutorial series. In this session, we're going to show you how to set your daily meal planner. To get started, simply click on Meal Planner from the top menu or on Set Your Meal Planner from the center menu. When you get to your daily meal planner, you'll see that you have a blank template, and this is where you enter your recipes or your food items. At the top of the daily meal planner is the current date, and whenever you go to your meal planner, it will always default to the current day. To select a different day, you can simply click on the day on the meal planner. You can also scroll forwards and backwards through previous or future weeks by clicking Previous or Next. You'll also notice on the top there is an icon for Reward Day, which simply means that any day that is highlighted in hot pink is the day that you've selected on your dietary profile for your reward day, if you're choosing to have one. You can also print weekly or print daily meal planners, so once you've finished completing your daily meal planner, you can print them off and put them on your fridge or take them to work. If you've already had a look through the first tutorial, you'll also notice that on the right hand side you have a current intake panel, and what this does is it displays your calories, protein, carbohydrates, fat, fibre and water. And these are based on your goals and your dietary profile that you set up in session 1. On the right hand side you also have a planned daily column, and this is the amounts that will change as you add food and recipes to your meal planner. You'll notice that there are already some figures showing in these columns, and what these are the nutritional amounts that are coming from any daily beverage allocation that you've set up in your dietary profile. Okay, so let's get started on planning our first daily meal planner. On the right hand side you'll notice there are two buttons. One is for add a meal and the other one is to add food. So let's first explore the add meal button. So clicking on add meal will display a list of recipes, and they are all listed in order from the lowest calorie amount through to the highest calorie amount. And at the bottom there is a menu for more pages. So if you wanted something with higher caloric amount, you could simply click on page 5 for instance, and it will give you more recipes. So when planning your meals, you can look through the recipes, and if you want to have a look at any of the recipes, simply click on the View button on the far right hand side. And this will bring up a recipe with the photo, nutritional details, and also the ingredients and instructions on how to make it. Once you're happy with that recipe, simply close the recipe, and you can then add that to your meal planner. Let's do the same again for morning tea. Click on Add Meal, view the recipe. Fantastic, that's exactly what I want. Close the recipe and add it to your meal planner. Now there are other things that you can do in the Add Meal section. So when you click on Add Meal, you can actually search for a recipe by name or also through your favourites. So let's look for a recipe that has the word chicken in the title. So type in the word chicken and click on Search Recipe, and you'll come up with a list of recipes that have the word chicken in the title. So I'm going to go for chicken and chili chickpea salad. And you can then add that to your meal planner. Now for afternoon tea, I'm going to do a combination of adding a meal and also adding a food item. So once again I select on Add Meal. Now if you need to clear the search recipe field, you just simply go to the right hand side and click on Clear Search. Now having a look at my planned daily versus my recommended daily, I can see that I'm halfway through my meal planner and I'm just under halfway really to what I need to be achieving for my recommended daily calories. So I'm going to go to page 2 and get something with a little bit higher calorie amount. Now I know I'm on the run this afternoon, and so I'm going to get a protein bar. So I'll add that to my meal planner, but I'd also like to have an apple with my protein bar. So this time I'm going to click on Add Food, and you'll see that a search category and ingredient field comes up. So you simply type in the word that you're looking for, so in this case it's apple, and click on Submit. You then get a list of different ingredients that have the word apple in their title. So you can read through this list, and if it's not there, simply go forwards or backwards using the next and previous buttons. So I want an eating apple, so I'm going to select this one. So clicking on the Add button on the far right hand side will add it to this box here. Now if you wanted to update the quantity, you could do so here. So if you wanted a half, you could type in 0.5, but I'm going to leave this as 1. You'll also notice underneath that there is a counter which displays your calories, protein, carbohydrates, fat and fibre. Once you're done adding your food items, you can then add that to your meal planner. And the eating apples appears here. Now for dinner I'm going to demonstrate using the Add Favourites option. So if we click on Add Meal, you'll see that there's a column here that has Add Fave with stars underneath. So you can add any meals here to your favourites simply by clicking on the star button. And you'll see that as soon as you've clicked on the star button, it says Recipe Added as Favourite. So what that does then is whenever you're searching for recipes, if you already have a list of favourites that you've added to your favourites selection, you can select only from My Favourites. And what it does then is it just lists the favourites that you've added to your profile. So I'm going to use Moroccan chicken. Now for the late evening meal, I'm going to demonstrate how to add multiple food items into your meal planner. So this time just click on Add Food, and I'm going to make cottage cheese with sliced banana and some crushed nuts sprinkled over the top. So firstly, let's look for the first ingredient, which is cottage cheese. So type in cottage and hit submit. And then a range of cottage cheeses come up. So click add to the ingredient that you would like. And this time I'm going to look for a banana. And I would like a small banana, which is listed here at the bottom. So again, click add. And the last ingredient I wanted was nuts. And here it's listed, mixed nuts, raw crushed. So again, I add that to my list below. Now you can see that mixed nuts and cottage cheese actually comes up initially as 1 gram. Now with the mixed nuts I actually want 10 grams, and the cottage cheese I'd like 150 grams, and the banana one is fine. So then you click update, and then underneath here your counter updates with those changes that you've made. So then simply click add to planner, and you'll see that the food items that you've just added are now added to your meal planner. So now that I've finished doing my daily meal planner, I want to check that I'm within the recommended guidelines. So I can see that my planned daily calories is slightly low, my protein is within the right range, and so is my carbohydrates. My fat is also on the low side, and my fibre is past the recommended amount, which is fantastic because fibre is a very important part of our diet. So what I can do now, I can add something else to my meal planner by adding a food item. So I'm going to add a little bit of avocado to my smoked ham and bruschetta, because that will help also increase my good fat amount. So I'm going to select a small avocado, but I don't want a whole one, I only want a quarter of one, so change that to a quarter, select update and add to planner. So you can see that's now been added. And if I now look over at my plan daily, I'm right at the lower end of the recommended daily calories, which is fantastic because ultimately my goal is to lose weight, and the closer you are to the bottom of that range, then of course the faster you'll achieve that goal. Everything else is within range. The fat is still a little bit on the low side, but just ensure with the fat that it is something that that is as close as possible to the lower end of the scale. If you're up towards the higher end, that's fine too. Food ingredients like smoked salmon and eggs do have good fats in them, and certainly will increase your fat intake as well. So that's how to plan your daily meal planner. Now from here You could print your weekly meal planner or your daily meal planner, as I mentioned earlier. And basically you just repeat this process for every other day of that week. And that's it for this tutorial on planning your daily meal planner. In the next tutorial, we're going to show you how to prepare your shopping list, which really is as simple as a few clicks of the button. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to prepare your daily meal planner, and we look forward to catching up with you in the next tutorial on how to plan your shopping list. Thank you.